Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I am the host of the Raising Resilience podcast, which is from mightyandbright.com. And today is my first time recording this both on video and for the podcast. So hopefully this is a cool format and everybody likes it. Everybody likes different things. You know, some people like to watch videos, some people like podcasts, some people like blogs. So I'm trying to give my content to everybody in all the ways that they might be interested in getting it. So if you are on YouTube or Facebook and watching this video, welcome. You can also listen to the podcast by going to mightyandbright.com/podcast, and you can find it, and it's available wherever you find your podcasts, and it's called Raising Resilience. So welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about animals because animals have a ton of benefits for kids and really help them cope when they're going through something difficult. And I wanted to start out by saying that, you don't have to have a pet in order to have the benefits of an animal. So like when I was first divorced and my daughter and I moved into an apartment, we were not allowed to have any animals or we were going to get evicted. And obviously having a roof over your head is a lot better than having a pet. Nobody wants to live in a cardboard box, even if you have a dog. So this episode is going to be good for you, even if you don't want a dog or cat or you can't have one. So I'm going to give you some tips as far as how you can find some animals to hang out with your kids and what the benefits of it are. So first off, I'll tell you what the benefits are. Spending time with animals actually elevates the levels of serotonin and dopamine in your brain, which helps people feel calm and relaxed. And so this can help your kids and it can help you because you probably are going to go with them, right? So you want the benefits of this too. So it's really good for your mental health in that it helps you feel really peaceful. And then there have been all kinds of studies about how animals impact people. Dog owners are less likely to suffer from depression than people without pets. People with dogs have lower blood pressure in stressful situations than people without pets. And one study even found that people with borderline hypertension adopted dogs and their blood pressure declined significantly within 5 months. So these are mental health benefits, but they can also be physical health benefits depending on what's going on with you. Animals just have super good energy, and releasing all of your stress by petting an animal, really, it's awesome. So playing with a dog or cat can elevate your levels of serotonin and dopamine, like I just mentioned, which help calm and relax you. Heart attack patients with dogs survive longer than people without them. And there have been all kinds of studies about how the impact of animals have on your long-term mental health. So pets provide a sense of security and a sense of safety. They also make sure that you're in a routine. Like if you think about it, if you're feeling depressed, but your little furry friend needs you to take care of them, you're a lot more likely to get out of bed and actually help them than if they weren't there. So that really helps a lot with depression and keeping you in a routine. And if you've been listening to the podcast or following me at all on social media, which you should if you don't, you know that the benefits of routine are enormous. They really help a lot with mental health. They give you a lot of things that you don't have to think about, which lowers your stress level. And studies have also shown that pets are a facilitator in getting to know people. And if you think about our kids, that makes a ton of sense because even if they're socially awkward and don't know what to say to other kids, nothing is a better conversation starter than having hung out with an animal lately or having a pet. So here is a few ideas about how you can get your kids involved in animals, even if you don't have a pet or don't want one. First thing that I did for my daughter, because she has been obsessed with cats since she was just itty bitty, She was a cat for like 5 years in a row for Halloween. Like, they are her animals. She feels super connected to them. So the first thing that I did was I took her to an animal shelter. The people there are super cool. Even if you're not interested in adopting an animal, the animals really benefit from social contact with humans too. So the people who work at the shelters were totally open to just opening their doors to us so that we could hang out with the cats. And, you know, just petting them and being around them and their fur, and how soft and fluffy they were was super good for my daughter. So that was the first thing that we did. Second thing we did was, we are near a big city, so this might not apply to everybody who listens to the podcast, but we have a couple of cat cafes. One of them is in Oakland, and I think one of them was in San Francisco. But we got on a waiting list to go and have hot chocolate while petting cats at a cat cafe. If you don't have a cat cafe, you probably do have a local shelter, or we also found that at our local PetSmart, they had, those cages outside of the grooming area where they would keep cats that were from a shelter. And those people who work for those shelters need volunteers to come in on a weekly basis to clean out the kitty litter boxes and also just socialize the cats. So you can volunteer to do that, and then you have a opportunity on a weekly basis, like an actual appointment where you go and hang out with the cats. Third thing you can do is, this is the fourth thing, I haven't been keeping track. Oops. So another thing that you can do is opportunities to raise kittens or puppies through fostering. So I would actually recommend doing senior dogs if you're going to do fostering of dogs, because if you are dealing with something difficult in your life, the last thing you need is a puppy peeing and pooping everywhere and like whining and crying and keeping you up all night. Senior dogs are just like an awesome opportunity for your kids because they're really low key and they're really sweet. So you can offer to foster a senior dog or kittens, which is what we did. And it gives your kids an opportunity to have a sense of, ownership, or a sense of just pride in taking care of an animal and being a comfort to them, in addition to taking the comfort from the animal. Also, equine therapy is awesome, and that is therapy with horses. And the reason why horses are used in therapy is actually super fascinating. Horses have a unique sensitivity to people's emotions, and so they react to subtle changes in their environment, and they can actually sense a kid's emotional state, including senses of anxiety or depression. And so the horse kind of acts as like a biofeedback machine. They respond to kids' emotions and reflect them back, and it's really like a fun way for kids to get actual like therapeutic benefits from hanging out with an animal. And I also want to take right now as an opportunity to mention that a lot of these places have grants if you have a major illness or if you have financial hardship due to divorce. Money does not necessarily need to be a barrier between you and being able to have access to these things. So that just as a side note. There are also nonprofits that help kids interact with animals. We go to a local farm. It's a teeny tiny little farm. It's super clean. And we went for the first time last week and got to meet a giant donkey. I'm not kidding you. I will post this online. You absolutely must follow me at Mighty and Bright Co. On Instagram, because I will post a picture of this giant donkey. It's a special breed of donkey, and I want to call it like a massive donkey or a gargantuan donkey. I don't remember what it's called. I will figure out what it's called and post it online. But it was a special kind of donkey that's endangered, and they are known for being incredibly sweet. And so this donkey came right up to us and was like nuzzling my cheek and like wanted pets and was just so sweet. They had emus, they had llamas, they had miniature cows and chickens and pigs, and one of the pigs was like moving his little snout and like wagging his little pigtail. It was awesome. And the idea behind this farm is it's mostly for kids who have experienced abuse, but it's also for kids that have just experienced hardship. Like I live in Santa Rosa, California, and that name might sound familiar to you because we have been unfortunately at the epicenter of a couple of California's major wildfires. In 2017, a whole lot of people in our city lost their houses due to the Tubbs fire. So there is a lot of PTSD in kids and families around here because they literally were running for their lives away from this fire. So the farm opened its doors to kids who were affected by the fire. So it can be beneficial to a lot of different kinds of issues. And then again, there's volunteer opportunities where you can walk dogs at humane societies or just, walk in whenever you feel like it and pet them. So I hope this has been helpful to you to try and find a way to be around animals for your kids, because like I said, spending time with animals, it elevates the relaxation hormones in your brain, and really, what could be better? So I hope you found this helpful, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.